Jay Blake lives with his wife in a two-bedroom house in North Park, right next to a canyon that's home to a lot of chatty birds. The Blakes liked this home for its privacy. It's set back about 80 feet from the street, leaving a very large front yard.
It is a little bit overgrown, I would say. We have a couple of trees, some shrubs, things like that. The trees have dropped a lot of leaves, obviously.
Blake has never had any use for the yard. In fact, he's had to spend about $5,000 to maintain it. So he started looking into developing the space into new housing.
I had people come out to give me quotes on it. I realized that I didn't necessarily have the resources to do that on my own. And so I did a lot of Google searching about the possibility of other things that I could do with it.
That search eventually led him to the startup Build Casa. The business was founded in 2022 after the passage of SB 9, which allows homeowners like Blake to subdivide their properties and cash out on their unneeded land. Build Casa handles the permitting and finds a buyer or developer to build a duplex on the new lot. Blake was pleasantly surprised when he got the company's offer for his front yard, $250,000.
Both my wife and myself have advanced degrees, which have really been great for us, but we've had student loans that have plagued us since about 2010, and I think a large chunk of this is going to go to paying those off and finally getting those off our backs, honestly.
Fundamentally, what we see is a lack of affordable starter homes for sale, really across the country, but it's hyper-concentrated in California.
Ben Baer is Build Casa's CEO and co-founder. He says SB 9 is too complicated for most homeowners to navigate on their own, and it's not for everyone.
You have to be open to having a new neighbor, and certainly, that's not something that everybody wants. Where we have seen a lot of interest and uptake is particularly among senior citizens who are, house rich and cash poor and want to age in pace and bought their home a long time ago.
Baer says San Diego is an attractive market for SB 9 projects because there's high demand for housing, and construction costs are lower than Los Angeles and the Bay Area. It also has a city government that supports SB 9, and that's not the case everywhere. The wealthy Bay Area suburb of Woodside declared its single-family neighborhoods mountain lion habitat in an effort to block SB 9. The move was short-lived, and this year the legislature passed a cleanup bill that closes some of the law's loopholes.
This was a momentous bill. It was a lot of people coming together to get this signed.
Muhammad Alameldine is a policy associate at the UC Berkeley Turner Center for Housing Innovation. He says SB 9's passage in 2021 was a major political achievement, but a study he co-authored last year found the law's impact on the housing supply has been slow to materialize.
It does take a while for the general public to know about the law, and for planning departments to adjust to state laws and state policies.
Alameldine says the emergence of companies like Build Casa and its competitor Yardsworth shows the market is ironing out the kinks in SB 9, and it's helping bring back competition to the home building industry. After the Great Recession, a lot of contractors switched to house flipping.
Having more developers build housing, especially small-scale housing like this, is very healthy for the housing industry.
I wanted to leave the property in better hands, I suppose.
Jay Blake says he's glad the new housing in his front yard will fit in with the neighborhood, which is already full of duplexes and triplexes, and he's glad someone else is dealing with the permits.
I realize that I might be leaving a little bit of money on the table, and I'm not bothered by that because I don't have to be bothered by all the logistics of property development, I guess.
After paying off their student loans, the Blakes are thinking about using what's left over to add central air to their home, and maybe another solar panel. Andrew Bowen, KPBS News.